Hey there, folks. It's Blake with 330 to go. I'm coming to you live in a different manner this time. I'm actually coming to you live streaming from home on our radar here. I wanted to kind of hop on and give you guys an update. I know we've been posting a couple of updates with tornado warnings, severe thunderstorm warnings heading through our area, specifically Ashland, Medina, and Wayne counties now. Now that this tornado warning from the storm from the Tiffin area has moved east and kind of come into the Wayne County, northern Wayne County, southern Medina County area, really wanted to hop on, give you guys an update, show you what's going on here. So this storm has had a history of producing tornadoes off to the west, near, on the map here, you can see near Shiloh, Willard, and out west towards Tiffin. Right now, this storm is tracking east. Currently, the area of concern is near West Salem, Congress, just east of Polk. So if you're in any of these areas, I would recommend getting to your safe spot now. Don't try to be a traditional Midwesterner like myself and sit out on the front porch and watch it. It's definitely something I would be doing, but with this history of this storm producing tornadoes that have been on the ground reportedly by law enforcement, don't take the chance. Something cool we can do with this. I have to thank Jess and her husband for getting me set up on this on such short notice. But I'm going to show you guys the track here as we go east from where the area of concern is. So this is moving east again at 45 miles per hour. So I'm going to take it out a little ways here, not too far. All right, so we'll drag this over so you guys can see this. If you're in Congress, I would take shelter now. If you're in any of these areas that is within a 15 to 20 minute lead time, I would recommend taking shelter now. Don't take a chance on it. As we go down here, in about 25 minutes, Rittman, it'll be reaching you. The storm is moving pretty quick, 45 to 50 miles per hour. If you do hear anything in the background, I am kind of listening to some other local meteorologists to kind of get the feedback on this. Marshallville, Wadsworth, about 30 minutes. It'll be impacting you guys. Doylestown, about the same. And as we keep going, about 35, 40 minutes, Norton, Clinton, North Lawrence, Barberton, and Canal Fulton, New Franklin area. So kind of looking more at the Portage Lakes there in about 40 minutes. And then as we continue going east of that, Greene, you have about 45 minutes to get yourself down to a shelter. You guys are not tornado warned yet, but with the history of this storm and the National Weather Service continuing to extend this warning, I would not take a chance and not take shelter if and when a tornado warning is issued for your area. So again, if you're just now joining us, this is Blake coming to you live doing a little bit something different. We are currently live from my home, streaming you guys my radar system that I use to kind of show you guys where we're at with all this. Anyone in northern Wayne County, West Salem, Burbank, Creston, Rittman, Doylestown, Marshallville, Orrville on the southern edge of this warning, and then Homerville, Lodi, Chippewa Lake, Seville, Wadsworth, Norton and Barberton even. You guys are on the northern edge of this storm. The area of concern right now is kind of right near West Salem, moving directly east at 45 miles an hour. If you're in this warning box, southern Medina, northern Wayne County, I would recommend taking shelter now and stay in your safe place until this warning expires, which, if you're wondering, is in 37 minutes. So at about 9:30 is when that's going to expire. And then again, this warning is radar indicated. However, this storm does have a history of producing tornadoes that have touched down. and then I'll address some of these comments here. So Portage County, realistically, you guys out in Portage County are going to see some of these thunder boomers that are not severe warned at this time. Ravenna, Edinburgh, Randolph, Atwater, you guys are all seeing some just thunderstorms, maybe some light winds, 40 mile per hour. Summit County is not yet in the tornado warning, Ashley. It is possible they will extend this further to the east. It will primarily cover, if they do, the southern half of Summit County, and it'll be basically Cuyahoga Falls south at that point. And that is correct. Hudson did just go to watch. So most of northeast Ohio in our area is actually under a tornado watch at this point until midnight Eastern time. And that's primarily because of this storm and the history of it producing tornadoes to the west. Stark County, I live in Stark County, and we just actually had a decent storm go through, as you can see right here on the map. This storm just went through my area. So if we're looking at this storm a little bit, kind of to predict the future, don't know if this is going to happen. A lot of you asking about northern Stark County. If this storm further goes east and gets tornado warned again beyond its 9:30 expiration time, it would be primarily southern Summit County. We're going to call it areas south of the 76 corridor. Actually, more so south of like Talmadge, because this is your warning line right here. And if they go straight east with that, pretty much everything south of Talmadge would be in that warning. Mark Johnson just made a very funny comment on his live video. He's hoping this tornado warning will expire so those of you who were upset can get back to your Grey's Anatomy. We understand. A lot of TV's series were interrupted tonight, but it is for good reason. When you have a storm like this with a history of tornadoes touching down on the ground, they're not going to take a chance regardless. There is not a tornado in Warren at this point. Warren's a little further east than our area, but I will touch on it. You guys are just under a severe thunderstorm warning at this point. Tuscarawas County, going a little further south here, keeping an eye on that tornado warning to see if they extend it further east. But as I play this, these storms in Coshocton are going to be going east towards Stone Creek, Uricksville, Newcomerstown, down in Tuscarawas County. And then we do have another tornado warned storm west of our area at this point that we're going to keep an eye on as it heads towards Carroll County and down towards Deersville. And I don't know if you guys can hear the stream I'm listening to, but Mark Johnson just made a very good kind of analogy with this storm. It's the little engine that could. It will not give up on its ability to produce a tornado and or capable of producing. So Norton, it does not surprise me that your sirens are going off at this point. I'm going to be completely honest. It does not surprise me. And the reason I say that is because if they do extend this warning, it's going to go straight into the southern Summit County, basically south of Talmadge. So I would keep an eye on this warning box, and if they extend it, and that's kind of what we're here to do. I'm going to stay live here just to see enough of what they do with this warning box. And if we need to continue a little longer, we will. Coventry, Akron, you guys are kind of in this New Franklin area. So if this warning gets extended, you guys are going to be in the path of this storm. As of right now, again, there is no tornado on the ground. It is a radar indicated rotation with quarter size hail as well as wind gust, probably exceeding 60 miles per hour. As you can see on here, next cities up, probably Rittman here in the next 5 minutes, Wadsworth in the next 10 minutes, and Doylestown in the next 15 minutes for locations impacted as the storm pushes east. And I want to make a good point here while we're on the subject. I'm going to take away the velocities. We have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tornado warnings on a line extending from basically Medina County down into Cincinnati area. So we definitely have a lot going on. I'm mainly focused on this one right now, and I'm going to switch back over to my velocities so I can see. Jess asked a good question earlier while we were live on 330, or well, we were preparing to go live. She asked how I read this map on the right, and this map on the right is a velocity map. And what you will notice is anytime you have green versus gray, green versus red, these are winds going towards the radar, and these are winds going away from the radar, which is what causes your rotation to happen, which develops a tornado. It's the best way I can explain that, and usually you'll see it very distinctly right in here. And if I had the ability, I would go back and show you the Salina Tiffin tornado when it was in progress so you guys could see what that looked like. Massillon sirens going off. That would not surprise me. Some may or may not know this. I am a dispatcher here in Stark County, and a lot of times sirens are controlled by the local dispatch centers, and oftentimes they get advance warning from the National Weather Service regarding impending warnings. I don't think they have extended this just yet that I'm not aware of. I am about, so just to give you guys an idea, so you guys can understand where I'm talking. So this is Massillon right here. I live somewhere right about here near the Myers Lake, Perry Heights area. This is Tuscarora Street, Lincoln Way. I kind of live just in this general vicinity. So we just had this storm go through that you guys are referring to in Massillon, and it was quite a doozy. All right. And I'm kind of just holding right now to see if they extend this. Just zooming out a little bit here. I'm going to take off. Radar indicated that we had debris, all of the stuff that a tornado would produce on the radar. We have ground truth. We all know there's a tornado watch, so I'm going to take this off my map because that bothers me a little bit. I'm not seeing too much of an organized rotation with this storm anymore. Yeah, this storm was a lot more organized when we went live, so really went live as a precaution to help you guys out and give you some information. We definitely wanted to make sure we were live to cover this. Hail in Louisville. That would not surprise me. You do have quite the gnarly little storm going through Louisville. We're going to switch over to my So on this right map, this is liquid. It's called integrated liquid, which basically means how much moisture is in the air that could be potentially freezing into hail on its way down. And hail in Louisville would not surprise me. If you can see these bright colors here, those are signs of hail. It's probably on the smaller side. The greens.
Yeah, that could, you could argue that that might be an additional weak touchdown of a tornado right there. Because
all right, we're going to drag our attention back up here. So first of all, this is hail near Burbank, Westfield Center, Lodi, Friendsville. This is some decent sized hail, probably quarter to ping pong size hail falling in southern Medina County. I'm going to switch this back over because something just got mentioned that I want to take a look at real quick.
Just these are the things you look at as you're trying to identify the areas of the problem areas. And this thing, it's kind of broken apart. You notice that? We've got like almost two distinct cells now, and this is a new one that's trying to get going with its own little hook right there. And that's when we started to see, right here, we started to see that little lighter color.
Suffield. As we look at Suffield, you guys are just getting some light rain right now.
That's why we're here.
This storm it would be heading towards you guys in Suffield. We're kind of in a holding pattern to see what's going on with that. We are still seeing a small rotation down near Golden Corners, just north of Smithville and Hermanville. Definitely seeing some rotation around East Pleasant Home Road down in Hermanville. If we have anyone down in Hermanville or down near Johnson Corners, Rittman area, take shelter, but if safely, let us know what the conditions are in your area. Caitlin, that's correct. There are no sirens in Perry Township right now. I live in Perry, actually, very close to Myers Lake, and they're very selective with when they set off their sirens. There definitely has to be some parameters met. Well, I told Jess I was only going to stay live for 15 minutes, but now I'm kind of in a holding pattern to see what they do with this warning. So my apologies to Jess because I know they're standing by in the background kind of manning everything for me. So we're going to see what happens with this warning. For anyone else watching in different areas, let me know where you're at. Let me know what's going on. We appreciate that. With the live streams are definitely getting better. This is a new service and a totally new beast for me. We did not plan to do this today at all. This was kind of a spur of the moment. Let's not throw it together, but let's put it together and get it done so that we can cover this for you guys. Winds picked up in Firestone Park. That would not surprise me. You guys just have a little bit of a thunder boomer going through right now. That warning expires in 8 minutes. The only other warning besides this one that I'm keeping an eye on is this one out here in Delaware, which is out of our area, but it's heading towards Tuscarawas County, Coshocton, kind of satellites of our area, so we want to keep an eye on that. Coshocton is under a severe thunderstorm warning right now. Newcastle, Warsaw, Keene, Franklin, Plainfield, Newcomerstown, heading your direction. And I have friends messaging me currently asking me what's going on, trying to call me. And I'm like, go watch my live on 330. I'm live.
It's developing into a straight line wind kind of producing thing. See how this bunch of red right down here. This is more of a
All right, come on.
type scenario. Okay?
So this warning doesn't expire for 22 minutes. However, the last one before I told Jess and them I was going to go live was supposed to expire 22 minutes from then, and they ended up extending it. So I'm kind of being patient to see what they do with this before we decide to call it clear or go from there. Wadsworth Norton border, nothing much. Give it about 5 to 10 minutes. I can tell you exactly, actually. Norton Barberton, give it about 15, 20 minutes, and you guys will be getting the impacts from this storm, which is why I'm kind of waiting to see whether they extend this tornado warning a little further east or not at this point. In green, no warning on my phone. That would be because there is no warnings right now. I'm kind of waiting to see if they do expand that a little further eastward. Rittman and Orville. Okay, so with that most recent radar update, this tornado warning has expired out near Ashland.
So that would indicate maybe stronger than EF2. Definitely EF2, and if it's a heavier car, that could be an EF3.
So this tornado warning box that remains, everyone, just a little update. Plymouth, which is out west here, a little bit towards, we're going to find it on the map because I'm not familiar. Plymouth, right near Shiloh, New Haven. So out in this area was where this tornado was really getting going. And to be completely honest with you, they're reporting cars were flipped over and overturned from this same tornado warning that now seems a little weaker. So that's why I'm being so precautious with this storm and not cutting this live until I know what this tornado warning is going to do. So I'm kind of focusing on this Hermanville, Sterling, Johnson's Corner area, kind of right in here. Because if there's going to be any more rotation, that's going to be the area that it's in. And I know that seems weird because on the radar, it doesn't look like there's anything there. But the velocity, you can see, is still picking up some heavy, strong winds in that area. I'm going to come up to Wadsworth for a second because up here in Wadsworth, right in downtown Wadsworth, Broad Street, I'm going to switch this over to another thing. Wadsworth, pretty much the whole proper Wadsworth area from, basically the county line westward. You guys are seeing probably some decent sized hail. If anyone's in Wadsworth, let me know if you guys are seeing any decent sized hail. Because these colors in here are concerning for hail. All right, there's a little bit of a wider view of our area. Akron, Cuyahoga Falls, you guys are pretty much just rain right now. Barberton, Norton, you guys are starting to see the impact of this storm. And I'm going to kind of look at some of the hail on this because I have a feeling There's some decent hail on this. Yeah, so Norton, Barberton, Johnson's Corners down there. You guys are going to see the impact of this hail that's kind of in the Wadsworth area as it's heading generally that direction to the east. So Barberton, Norton, Johnson's Corner, Hametown. You guys are all going to see the impacts of this hail that's in Wadsworth right now as it moves further east. All right, so I don't know if anyone's able to hear what I was listening to. Mark Johnson from Channel 5, who I have trusted since I was in school, and he's the one who kind of sparked my interest in weather. I am going to agree with him and say that this storm out in southeastern Summit County and eastern Medina and Wayne County, basically right here, I'm going to agree to say that this storm is pretty much fizzled out, at least at this point. It's not to say it couldn't pick up energy as it continues to go further east. So I am going to call it for now. I'm going to say, I'm going to check a couple things just to make sure I'm making the right call here. We no longer have any sign of a debris signature on correlation coefficient, which earlier in the day we were seeing a decent signature. As you can see down here in Delaware, you have all these mixing colors down here, which is either straight line winds causing some damage or anything like that. Up here, you don't really see much of it. The velocities are not really concerning as they were when I first started monitoring this. And the storm has lost its organization. So I'm going to agree and pretty much call it quits on this storm. If they do extend this tornado warning, I would be very surprised. We will let you guys know if that does happen. However, I am going to wrap it up here. We will continue to monitor any storm development to our west. My only other remaining concerns is this storm in Delaware County, which is going to be moving basically straight east, kind of like that. So southern Tusk County, Coshocton, you guys are going to be in line for that storm. Right now, that storm is tornado warned, but what I will tell you is with all of these storms ahead of this one, it's going to basically stabilize the air as it comes into it, and it's going to cause anything left to fizzle out, which basically you can see happened here. We had storms come through probably 2 hours ago ahead of this tornado warned storm that came from the Tiffin area, and now this is what's left of a storm that may or may not have caused EF2, EF3 type storm damage, tornado damage in Tiffin, New Plymouth, and Salina. So the evolution of a thunderstorm. So any more hail coming to Elliott? I will answer that question real quick before we hop off here. Elliott area. Let's see. My hail map has not updated since it's been in Wadsworth, but this is the storm that was associated with the hail right here. And obviously here's Lakemore right there. And then here's Uniontown, and obviously Ellett is going to be up in this area right here. So this storm's moving directly east. So it is possible Ellett could see some small hail. Nothing, I would say, concerning that I would really want to make you guys aware of. And I'm getting word that Akron is all of a sudden starting to get pounded, which does not surprise me considering that the tornado warning storm has since moved to the east and is now right here over Norton, Barberton, northern edge of the Portage Lakes. Akron Firestone Park, you guys are going to be the next to get the leftover of this tornado warning storm. Kenmore, Rolling Acres, as this storm continues to move east. Looks like it's turning a little bit to the left and moving a little more east-northeast. So Lakemore, you guys are going to see this storm as it continues. North Springfield, Akron Fulton Airport, Albrecht, Mogador. You guys are going to all see the impacts of this leftover storm. It is about 9:20, and they have not extended this tornado warning that I'm aware of. I'm going to check one thing real quick just to make sure. I highly doubt they're going to at this point. Something I just noticed while I was looking. This tornado warning down here has just been extended. Right now, this includes Hanover, Newark, Fredonia, Purity, and Fallsburg, and this is down basically Tusk County is up here. So this one looks like it's moving a little more southeast. So Coshocton, you're going to be on the southern edge of this one, or northern edge of this storm. Zanesville, you're going to be kind of right on the southern edge of this storm. So if any of our further away viewers, Cambridge, you're going to be kind of in a direct hit zone for this storm if it remains tornado warned. Right now, this storm is still only showing radar indicated, which you can see right here. So I'm not overly concerned about this storm at the moment. You can definitely see, the only thing I will point out is you can see a good little hail signature on this storm. And if I take a look at our velocities on this one, I am seeing a rotation on this one. Sunbury, Berkshire. I know this is a little out of our 330 area, but this is definitely something to keep an eye on as it heads east. That warning box is still sitting here. I'm guessing they're just going to let this expire. Questions about out east. Carrollton, Carroll County, you guys are pretty much in the clear. No real rain or anything like that. Salem, you guys are just getting a little bit of a thunderstorm now. I'm going to take away this map for now. Youngstown, just a little bit of rain, heavy rain, some gusty winds. Ravenna, you guys had a storm just move east of you. That is out towards Edinburgh. Bloody Corners, West Branch State Park is actually right here. So that's going to move just south of West Branch. So if anyone's camping out there that you're familiar with, if you can get a hold of them, do it. I see comments Kenmore is getting bad. Actually, one of my good friends lives out in Kenmore. Oops, I'm zooming in on the wrong area. And Kenmore, that would not surprise me because that is right here. So it definitely would not surprise me that you guys are getting hit pretty good right now. You guys are getting hit with the leftover of the tornado-warned storm that actually produced several tornadoes out west, Tiffin, in those areas. And I don't believe, if I turn on my velocities, this storm definitely has some straight line winds in it that could be 60 to 65 miles per hour. I do not see a severe thunderstorm warning on this right now. And I'm just looking to make sure. We do still have a tornado watch until midnight for a majority of our viewing area. Tornado watch goes until 11 p.m. Central Daylight Time. However, that is midnight our time. Few tornadoes likely. Yeah, so tornado watch is still in effect at this point. I'm going to turn that back off. This tornado warning expires in 5 minutes. I'm guessing they're going to let it expire. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. And I'm starting to see people keep saying it's just starting to pick up in Akron. Akron people, I know you're a large portion of our followers. This storm is the one that has been the focus for Fox 8, Channel 3, Channel 5, all of our local news channels. This storm has been the focus for the last hour and a half, 2 hours since it was out in Tiffin, out here. And now it has moved all the way east to directly impact Akron. There is no tornado warning on it right now. They did not extend it. However, it is still packing a punch. There is no severe thunderstorm warning on it. And I'm just going to make sure I have those on. I do. So you guys are just getting the brunt of this leftover storm. Wadsworth, you guys are in between two storms right now. You guys have this storm that just went through to the west, and then you have this line that is kind of heading in your general vicinity. So Wadsworth, you guys are not necessarily in the clear yet. This storm we can kind of take a look at. We'll just say it's moving at 40 miles per hour, which has been about the pace of most of these storms. So Wadsworth, I'm just going to say 40. Wadsworth, in about another 30 minutes, you guys are going to get a second round of storms coming through. No warnings or anything on these storms as of yet. I don't see any reason why there will be. Definitely some strong winds in these storms. I'm going to keep an eye on this storm here just north of Ashland, heading towards Polk. That expires in 3 minutes, and most likely they'll let that expire. I did just mention I'm keeping an eye on the storm forming just north of Polk, heading east towards West Salem, Congress, Pleasant Home. I'm just starting to see some shape on this that is indicative of tornado or tornadic rotation. You guys can kind of see this storm making that kind of spinning movement. So I was explaining this to Jess earlier, and I'll explain it to you guys just a little bit. Storms need a insurgence area, basically like this, a nice little opening. And then as you have that, those winds start wrapping and creating what we call a hook echo, which is what I'm starting to see right here, which is just why I want to keep an eye on that storm as it moves to the east. Lake Moore picking up, not a surprise. Same storm, just starting to head into your area. Ellet, you guys are going to be next up for this. Let's take a look at the hail out here. And my hail map has updated, and wow. North of Portage Lakes here. So for green residents, you guys will be familiar, Portage Lakes. Here is your Firestone Metro Park. Here is Killian Road. So Springfield area, here's 77 going straight down. This area right here is definitely seeing some ping pong ball sized hail, maybe even larger. Outside of that, maybe just some all right, let's take a look. I'm going to go back to this storm in okay. I just want to keep an eye on any storms that are coming into the area from the west. What can happen after a storm goes through is you can have what's called some reheating and re-intensification in the atmosphere, which can cause any further storms to gain strength off of the previous storm and then again start spinning, which is what we don't want to see, but it's something we have to keep an eye on. No update down here. Utica, which is a little bit outside of our area. I'm just going to point this out, though. I know it's near Columbus. That storm's tornado warned, and just a bit concerning right here. So this is a good thing to watch for when you're looking for tornadoes on a velocity radar. You have these winds going towards the radar and winds going away from the radar, and it's causing this clash of colors right here. There very well could be a tornado on the ground down near Johnstown, kind of south of our viewing area. So that'll be something to watch as it heads towards New Philadelphia and Cambridge. Not seeing any defined debris ball on that, so that's good. I'm going to come back to the north here. That little bit of rotation I was seeing kind of fell apart, so that's definitely good. All right. Hailing in Ellet as of 1 minute ago. Let's take a look at that. So that would not surprise me whatsoever because this and this, and I'm going to leave those circled. So that's basically Quail. So like right here, and that's Ellet. And then East Waterloo, so like right here. Let's circle. All right, now that I did that, let's change this to... All right, so my hail map has not updated. Common issue that I've been having. But Ellett is definitely getting some hail right now. So Ellett is right here. This has not updated, but if I go back to my main map, you guys are definitely getting some good hail in there. Small penny-sized hail in there in Ellett. That would make sense. Here's Albrecht. And I'm going to try to point out if I can. So here is 91. And this is your main drag through Ellett. So here's Route 91. 224 comes through right here. And then storm's moving east of there now, but you definitely in this area were getting some good hail a couple minutes ago, if not still getting a little bit of it. Worcester, you guys are, I'm going to call you guys in the clear. Most of the storms, Worcester, you're right here. Most of the storms are north of you or south of you. So I'm going to call you guys clear at this point. West Akron, pretty quiet at the moment. Give it about 30 minutes. You've got another storm coming from the Lodi area east at about 40 miles per hour. So Akron, about 45 minutes. You guys are going to have another little thunder boomer coming through. This one is not warned to any extent. Kenmore, Barberton. Again, you guys have this little storm system coming your way as well. About 30 minutes for you guys. Canal Fulton, you guys are, I would say, pretty much in the clear. You've got these little separate storms that are going to continue going east, northeast. Should stay north of you for the most part. Valley, some light rain. You guys are going to have the northern edge of this storm coming through here soon. So keep an eye on that. North Canton in the clear. Some light little thunderstorms moving east. Here's North Canton. And then Hartville, you're a little further north. You guys are going to basically have, here's it right here. You guys are going to have this storm coming east. They're kind of starting to shift a little further northeast. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Northfield, you guys are in the clear. You guys are actually on the very far north end of this. I don't think you're going to have anything. North Lawrence, you guys are pretty much in the clear. Louisville Alliance, you guys are pretty much in the clear as well. Massillon, same thing, pretty much in the clear. Youngstown, you guys are going to kind of be in an interesting position the rest of the night. You guys are going to continue to have all of these storms that we're experiencing now head into your area probably in the next 2 to 3 hours. Kent, same thing for you guys. It's going to be kind of weird. You guys are a little bit further north than most of the storms, but you're going to continue to have some shift your way into the overnight. I am not showing any severe thunderstorm warnings north of, we're going to call it north of New Philly at this point. There's still a tornado warning down here, Coshocton area. I'm not overly concerned about that one. Stowe, you guys are going to have some light thunderstorms the rest of the night. Randolph, Atwater, again, you guys are going to have just a little bit of light thunderstorms going through. Streetsboro, a little further north. You guys are going to have some light thunderstorms. You're on the far northern edge at this point. And then someone is telling me Medina County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. I am not seeing that at this point. Let me reset this real quick because I am not showing. National Weather Service does have Medina County under a severe thunderstorm warning. However, I am not seeing it, and that might be why. And that would be why. Cool. All right. Had a little system setting wrong. So Medina County, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail within this storm. Locations impacted include Medina, Brunswick, Wadsworth, Rittman, Lodi, Creston, Hinckley, Seville, and that is moving. I didn't read that part. This one's moving east at 45 miles per hour. So Akron, let's see. So pretty much Fairlawn south to Barberton, Portage Lakes, Lake Moore, Ellet, Mogador. You guys are going to all have this storm probably in the next half hour. I'll give you a little track on it. It's moving east at 45. So Seville, about 10 minutes. Wadsworth, about 20 minutes. You'll be having this storm. Norton in about 20 to 25 minutes. That includes Copley, Barberton, and Portage Lakes. You'll be about 30 minutes. That includes Akron proper. Greene in about 40 minutes or so. You guys will have this storm impacting probably your northern area more than anything. Lake Moore, Monroe Falls in about 40 minutes as well. Mogador, Uniontown, this storm I do not anticipate to affect you too terribly bad. You're going to get some of the southern bands. And then Kent, you'll probably get some of the northern edge of this storm as well. But that is a severe thunderstorm warning right now until 10:15 p.m. for Medina. Question about will this storm produce a tornado? That is a very good question, and we can kind of take a little bit of a nosedive into that. There's definitely some decent hail inside this storm. So Chippewa Lake, Friendsville, Westfield Center, basically where 71 and 224 intersect. Definitely some decent hail happening in there. Here's your 224 and then 71. So definitely in this area, you're going to have some good hail. And we're going to change this to velocity to see what kind of rotation, if any, is in this storm. The only thing I'm really seeing with this storm, for the person who asked about tornadic activity, this area, I'm going to get in a little closer, but this area right here, so basically Seville, Westfield Center, Creston, definitely indicative of some straight line winds. In the Westfield Center, again, basically where the hail core was at 76 and 71. So keep an eye there. Definitely something to watch. Oh, this is new. Alrighty, so new severe thunderstorm warnings for Carroll County, and it's also going to include this is going to include Columbiana, the southeastern portion, and central Carroll County until 10 p.m. This storm is actually hauling and moving 75 miles per hour. Quarter-size hail, East Liverpool, Carrollton, Augusta, Delroy, Beaver Creek, Lake Tomahawk, and Atwood Lake. This is all going to affect. I don't see anything tornadic in that one, so it's definitely good. That is a new severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be out until 10 p.m., so about the next 15 minutes. All right, y'all. So what I'm going to do, I do not see anything indicative of any more tornadoes or rotation at this point. So what I am going to do is I am going to wrap it up here. If anything else happens, I can update you guys by posting, but also thanks to Jess and Steve, I now know how to get on the live streaming here and actually stream my radar with you guys. So it's definitely something we'll be doing more as we go into the future, with giving you guys some updates as well. I'm just checking on one more comment that I saw. Atwater, definitely probably a little bit of hail coming down there. A couple questions I'll take. North Akron, you guys are pretty much in the clear at this point. You're going to have a severe thunderstorm coming through in the next little while. But other than that, I hope everyone has a good night. Just some thunder boomers rolling through the area, isolated severe at the rest of the night. Again, we do have the tornado watch until midnight. They have not canceled that as of yet, so that is in effect until midnight. So have a way to get alerts. Make sure your stuff's fully charged. And I hope everyone has a good night. Thanks for tuning in, and everyone stay safe.